Ok, ciao a tutti. Buondì, buondì, buondì. Stoppo un attimo la musichetta. Eccoci qui. Buonasera. Buonasera a tutti. Allora, oggi cosa facciamo? Cosa facciamo? Andiamo innanzitutto a vedere quali sono i consigli che dà Google per superare le loro interview. Ok, ho preparato 4-5 video per la durata di circa un'oretta. Quindi la prima ora la prima ora la passeremo guardando video di Google, mentre la seconda ora, eh, quindi cerchiamo di finire per le 10:30 massimo, la passeremo facendo i LeetCode, ok? Ne vorrei fare sempre un paio. Perché vediamo questi video? Vediamo questi video perché devo capire se lo studio che sto facendo ha un senso. Se mi manca qualcos'altro da vedere. Sento dentro di me che manca qualcosa. E che risolvere solo LeetCode non è ciò che mi aiuterà. Ok? Quindi spero qui con questi video di trovare le risposte. Oggi vediamo questi tre. System design non dovrebbe essere in realtà interessante al momento. Allora, direi che oggi forse vediamo. Sì, li vediamo tutti questi qui. Questi 5 video. Mentre domani vediamo altri 3 video che sono delle mock interview. Ok? Che ci faranno capire un po' meglio a cosa si va incontro in un'interview con una FANG. Ok? Like tattico al nostro caro Google. Allora, qua ho messo i sottotitoli. Che a questo punto, visto che me li ha messi, li mettiamo in italiano. Che non ci sono. Li mettiamo. Vabbè, li mettiamo. Lasciamo quelli che ci stanno. Ok. Ah, c'è pure l'audio. Wow. Figo. Vabbè. Direi di iniziare. Non so se. Però sto registrando l'audio. Così dovrei. Ok, così lo dovreste sentire. Vediamo un po'. No, non si sente. Aspetta un attimo. Schermo. Oh, quanta roba. Aiuto. Momento. Proprietà, cattura. Posso mettere cattura audio? E dai. Lo so che me lo fai fare, lo so. Solo ricorda come funziona, eh. Fatto un danno? Fatto un danno. Allora. Dov'è? Non è questo, non è chat, non è Chrome. Pin message, no. Perché non me lo dà? Cioè, scusate, la registrazione schermo non dà l'audio? Che minchiata è? Che minchiata è? Che minchiata è? Cattura audio? Che se io metto così...
Who's a technical recruiter here at Google.
Vabbè dai, lo dovreste sentire dal microfono. Faccio un attimo una prova. Facciamo una prova. Come antichi. Andiamo sulla live e cerchiamo di capire cosa succede se mi metto ad ascoltarla. Dov'è? Sentirete un po' di rimbombo.
And I'm Jules, a program manager. Before we
Ok, si sente, quindi direi che possiamo andare. Va bene? Vediamo cosa c'ha da dire i nostri cari amici di Google.
get started, note that while this video is focused on preparing for technical questions, we've also made videos explaining how to prepare for non-technical interviews and how our hiring process works. Both of these videos contain useful information that will help you prepare for your Google interviews, so be sure to check them out under the How We Hire playlist, linked in the description below.
Now let's get into it.
Let's start by talking about interview logistics. These days, most of our interviews take place virtually on Google Meet video calls. Once your virtual interviews have been scheduled, you'll receive an email confirmation from someone on our recruiting team. In this email, they'll share your interview date, time, and a link to your Google Meet session.
In order to have a more seamless interview, you want to make sure you have the following. 1, a computer or laptop that's compatible with Google Meet. 2, a webcam if your computer doesn't have one. 3, a phone in case there are issues with audio or video. And 4, your preferred methods for note-taking and sharing coding or design work.
A common question we hear is what to wear. You can check with your recruiter for specifics, but these are the clothes that we wear every day and are probably similar to what your interviewer will be wearing. Also note that your interviewer will be taking notes either on paper or on a laptop.
Before jumping into more specifics about preparing, you want to note that not all of our interviews for every role are the same. While this video will provide a basic overview of what you may be asked, exact interview types will vary by role. For example, interviews for site reliability engineering roles will differ from those for machine learning. Depending on the role and experience level, you may be expected to know more about coding, algorithms, systems design, or other domain areas.
Interview expectations also change with your seniority and experience level. All applicants will likely have at least one interview focused on more generalist skills and one focused on more specialized skill. The more senior the role you're applying for, the more subject matter expertise you're expected to have, so be sure to ask your recruiter for more specific technical expectations for the role and level you're applying for.
As always, if you need any interview accommodations, our recruiting team is here to help. From sign language interpreters to specialized equipment, and from interview breaks to extended time, we aim to provide the support you need so you can keep the focus on your interviews. All you need to do is inform your recruiter that you need accommodations, don't need to share the details, and they'll connect you with our candidate accommodations team. During your interviews, you may be asked to build and develop algorithms and data structures, solve logic problems, or design systems, all in a shared document with your interview. You'll also be testing on your core computer science principles. Think subjects such as data structures and algorithms, code and design, sorting in trees, big-O notations, and APIs.
Ok. Mi segno un attimo queste cose. Ok. Ok, la parte della big O notation devo assolutamente studiarla, so cos'è perché l'ho vista sti giorni, ma non ho la più pallida idea di come si calcoli. credo sia abbastanza importante per Google. API ci lavoro tutti i giorni, insomma.
You won't be working out of an IDE or compiler, so we always recommend practicing your code on a whiteboard, Google Doc, or a piece of paper.
In general,
Assurda sta cosa. Non capisco neanche il motivo, perché c'è. Che senso c'ha? Visto che lavoriamo tutti su un compilatore, su un IDE. Cioè, perché non me dovevi perché me la devi far fare su un pezzo di carta?
Recommend practicing your code on a whiteboard, Google Doc, or a piece of paper.
in general, you want to show your interviewer your problem-solving skills and coding fluency. For example, if it's a coding question, it's important to provide efficient prototype code in a short time frame when solving the problem. If it's a systems design or algorithms question, show that you understand all aspects of the problem by offering multiple solutions and discussing their relative merit.
You should focus your preparation on the following areas. First, coding. Unless the role requires something more specific, you should feel comfortable coding in a language of your choice. You'll be expected to know how to test your code and how to come up with corner and edge cases.
You'll also be expected to be familiar with common data structures and how to assess and improve the space and time complexity of an algorithm.
Applicants should also be comfortable with testing. Questions you may be asked include, how would you unit test the code you write? Or, what interesting inputs or test cases can you think of? For a system to test the code and preparation
quindi
by systems design or algorithm
importante.
frequency. For example, if it's a coding question, it's important to provide efficient prototype code in a short time frame when solving the problem. If it's a systems design or algorithms question, show that you understand all aspects of the problem by offering multiple solutions and discussing their relative merit.
You should focus your preparation on the following areas. First, coding. Unless the role requires something more specific, you should feel comfortable coding in a language of your choice. You'll be expected to know how to test your code and how to come up with corner and edge cases.
You'll also be expected to be familiar.
Quindi dobbiamo coprire tutti i casi limiti. Se necessario chiediamo maggiori dettagli su come una certa cosa, e poi dobbiamo anche saper testare.
With common data structures and how to assess and improve the space and time complexity of an algorithm.
Applicants should also be comfortable with testing. Questions you may be asked include, how would you unit test the code you write? Or, what interesting inputs or...
No, questo è proprio... loro la mettono a parte, quindi... testing. Tramite Google Docs.
Test cases can you think of? For a system design interview, you may be asked, how would you design end-to-end integration, loaded performance, or security tests for a real-world system like Gmail?
Similar to algorithms, you should also have a solid understanding on data structures, so be sure to study up on as many as possible. Be aware of the most known classes of NP-complete problems.
An end-to-end integration, loaded performance, or security tests for a real-world system like Gmail.
Similar to algorithms, you should also have a solid understanding on data structures. so be sure to study up on as many as possible. Be aware of the most known classes of NP.
Ok, NP, non la conosco questa cosa, NP, complete. Problems.
Key complete problems, such as traveling salesman and the knapsack problem. Known classes of NP complete problems, such as
Non li conosco queste cose, sinceramente.
just traveling salesman and the knapsack problem. That way you'll be able to recognize them if your interviewer asks. It's also good to know about arrays, hash tables, linked lists.
Ovviamente i tipi base di struttura, sapere cosa hanno delle differenze, vanno sempre ripassati.
Graphs, trees, stacks, and priority queues.
What underlies all of this is the need to have strong quantitative skills. Counting problems and probability problems surround us. Spend some time before the interview refreshing your memory or learning the essentials of elementary probability theory. And combinatorics. You should also be familiar with N-choose K problems and others like.
This also means you should know your graphs. Knowing graph algorithms for distance, search, connectivity, and cycle detection may help you find a solution to the problem. There are connectivity, and cycle detection may help you find a solution to the problem. There are three basic ways to represent a graph in memory: objects and pointers, matrix, and adjacency list. Be sure to familiarize yourself with each representation and its pros and cons. You should also know the basic graph traversal algorithms, breadth first search, and depth first search, as well as the computational complexity, trade-offs, and how to implement them in real code.
It's also important to brush up on recursion. Many coding problems involve thinking recursively and potentially even coding a recursive solution. Prepare for recursion and dynamic programming questions, both which can sometimes be tricky if not approached properly.
And finally, familiarize yourself with system design. Particularly if you have many years of industry experience, we'll expect you to have system design experience, though your recruiter will let you know this is the case. As a result, we'll ask questions to test your ability to combine knowledge, theory, experience, and judgment. This will show us your approach to a real-world engineering problem. The interviewer will test your ability to design a system under certain constraints, potentially touching upon topics like interfaces, distributed systems, limitations, robustness, and considering trade-offs. You should also have an understanding of the internet as a whole actually working at a high level.
If you'll be doing a systems design interview, study up on operating systems. You should understand processes, threads, concurrency issues, locks, mutexes, semaphores, monitors, and how they all work. You should also understand deadlock and lifelock, and how to avoid them. Know what resources a process needs and a thread needs. Understand how context switching works, including how it's initiated by the operating system and underlying hardware.
Now that you know the technical areas to brush up on, try not to forget these key approaches. First, be sure to explain and clarify your answers.
Ok, questo è importante, che lo metterei un po' come consigli.
Us. Show us your work and explain your thought process and decision making throughout the entire interview. We're not just evaluating your technical abilities, we're also interested in understanding how you approach and try and solve problems.
You should also be able to verbalize and check your assumptions to ensure they are reasonable. This involves asking clarifying questions if you don't understand a problem or need more information. Many of the questions asked in our interviews are deliberately vague because our engineers are looking to see how you engage with the problem.
After providing a solution in the interview, think about ways to improve your proposed answer. In many cases, the first solution that springs to mind isn't the most elegant and may need some refining.
Yes, we have we short we have short and t-shirt. Without the hoodie today. Today we need to be energical.
Talk through your initial thoughts with the interviewer. Jumping immediately into presenting a brute force solution will be less well received than trying to take time to compose a more efficient solution.
And finally, practice, practice, practice. Be sure to test your own code and ensure it's easily readable without bugs. Find problems, write the code, and solve them. Be mindful of your pace because we do factor that into our evaluation. Ultimately, there's no better way of practicing than actually writing these algorithms. And if you can find a friend to help you with a mock interview, you'll be even more prepared.
And that's it. Hopefully this video has helped you prepare for your technical interview at Google.
Be sure to follow our Life at Google and Google Students social media channels and visit our career sites to learn more about our roles, culture, people, and products. Good luck with your preparation.
Ok, questo primo video, this first video
Are you
seen
interested
at
in learning about our hiring process at
why?
Google?
Okay. First video was clear. Okay. How to solve coding interview question. It's a mock interview, so we will see it tomorrow. Okay. Let's see. Prepare your Google interview, the coding part. Okay.
Done it! You've landed an on-site interview with Google. Congratulations! My fellow Googlers and I would like to share our tips and advice on how to prepare. In this video, we will cover communication and collaboration, creating algorithms and using data structures, writing clean and structured code, testing and error checking, and overall best practices.
Communication and collaboration are incredibly important in the work we do here at Google, and that's because it's key to how we approach developing and building our products. In your interview, it's important to demonstrate those qualities. Understanding a problem, designing a solution, and writing code are all valuable parts of the interview process. We want you to think out loud. We don't just want to see the final code, we want to understand how you arrived at it. Google is a collaborative workplace where projects are planned and executed by teams. Those teams have a mission to work together to solve big, often ambiguous problems, not just write code. And those problems can have multiple valid solutions. So tell us your plan on how to solve these problems and be sure to ask questions. And remember, we're not looking for one specific answer. Some of the problems you'll encounter during your interview will be deliberately underspecified. We leave those questions open-ended because real engineering problems require you to dig deeper.
Okay, so it's important to make question, okay, to the interviewer, so he will appreciate that. Okay, we must put in mind this thing.
Google, we deal with planet-scale data and compute systems every day. Simply identifying a solution isn't always enough. The code we write needs to be fast enough to respond to users and make efficient use of our resources. You should have a strong understanding of commonly used algorithms and data structures to do just that. When you're presented with a problem, it's probably a good idea to outline the algorithm and discuss it with your interviewer before you jump into the coding. It will give you an opportunity to refine and improve your solution collaboratively with your interviewer. Understanding the computational complexity of your solution is also important. Remember, you don't have to come up with the optimal solution up front. Iterating to improve your solution can be a valuable part of the process. You're also going to want to use appropriate algorithms and data structures. You should have a strong fundamental understanding of commonly used data structures like arrays, linked lists, stacks, and queues. You'll want to know sets, maps, trees, heaps, and graphs as well.
Okay. Yeah, they want to see our intention plan and how we execute it and the result all in once. Yeah. The focal point is to let them understand what we want to do and to make the algorithm the more efficient we can, fundamentally.
It's also essential to know which algorithms tend to go along with each data structure. Algorithms that are used to solve Google problems typically include sorting, searching, and binary search.
Okay, this is important. Okay, this is really good stuff to know.
You should also be familiar with divide and conquer, dynamic programming, and memorization. Greedy algorithms, and recursion. And be sure to brush up on algorithms linked to specific data structures like graph traversal.
It's too much. It's really too much. Okay, breadth and depth first. I already seen it. Yeah, already seen it. Okay. In the graph stuff. Also recursion. This and search. Okay. Okay.
You won't be expected to answer questions requiring some obscure and highly domain-specific algorithm. When you're working out the requirements of an algorithm, this could also be the perfect time to think of good test inputs.
At Google, developers may work across different platforms, but the foundational knowledge required to perform their job function is the same. Candidates will be expected to write idiomatic code in a programming language and style they are comfortable with. Common languages candidates choose to write code and includes C++, Java, Python, JavaScript, or Go. Choose the language you are comfortable with. We are evaluating you on conceptual understanding, and we know that if you are fluent in one programming language, you could learn another. We also are not trying to confuse you with language trivia. So don't worry too much about memorization, syntax, or punctuation. We want the substance of your code to shine through.
Google's products and services are important for billions of people around the world. When we make changes, we need to be confident that we're not breaking important existing features. After you're finished coding in your interview, you'll want to run through at least 1 or 2 test cases to check your work. Good test inputs should exercise the boundary conditions in your inputs and your algorithm. Use simple and compact sample inputs first to ensure your code is correct. And lastly, you may also be asked to discuss malformed inputs and how your code handles them.
Now that you have the focus areas, here are some overall best practices to keep in mind for your actual interview day. We want to understand how you think, so it's important to explain your thought process during the interview. We're not only evaluating your technical ability, but also how you solve problems. Many questions will be deliberately open-ended to give us an idea of how you think. We'd encourage you to ask for clarification. And we all know that our first solution may not be the best one. So once you come up with an answer to a question, think about ways to improve upon it. Let your interviewer know what you're thinking.
And lastly, practice on paper or whiteboard. You may have the option to use a computer and or whiteboard during your interview, so you'll want to make sure you practice for both possible options and that your code is easily readable if written.
And those are our tips to help you prepare for a coding interview at Google. If you have any questions about your upcoming interview, you can always reach out to your recruiter. We're here to help, and we look forward to seeing you at one of our offices around the world soon.
Okay, it's similar to the previous one.
You've done it!
Okay. So this is I think the difficulties part, the part of system design and coding. Let's see what happens.
You've done it. You've landed an on-site interview with Google. Congratulations. My fellow Googlers and I would like to share our tips and advice on how to best prepare. In this video, we'll cover communication, designing with scale in mind, concrete and quantitative solutions, how you manage trade-offs and compromises, and overall best practices. But before we jump into the core focus areas of this interview, here are a few things to note. You will not be coding in this interview. There will also be significant time constraints. We'll expect you to gather requirements and to develop an initial solution in the first 20 minutes. So please, be sure to use your time wisely.
Communication is incredibly
Okay, we
important.
can skip it because I don't think I want to concentrate myself to the coding interview. So I don't think we will do system design stuff. Is it just me or I feel Google is a bit out of date? Well, some videos are from 6 years ago, so maybe some videos are a little too late, a little too out of date, sorry. So maybe it's for this. But I like that they want to evaluate what you're thinking. I'm now 13% using ChatGPT for things. Oh, you intend? I don't know. I use Google for the main research. I don't trust ChatGPT or similar for searching on the web. I do the research on my own, okay? But I use ChatGPT, Gemini to write stories, okay? Like my D&D character, okay? And I don't know. I know that a lot of people now use ChatGPT as a primary resource for searching thing, but I don't like it to do so. Yeah, I understand. I'm not that type of person. I mean, I search. Today I search for a recipe on Google, not on ChatGPT, because I want to see who write the recipe, if there are some reviews. It's not maybe it's not the more efficient way to search thing, I know, but it's the way that let me it's the way that let me think that I'm judging the results, okay? Because with ChatGPT it's difficult to judge if it's a good response or not. I go to close the door. So what I think, I don't know. I like Google research. I prefer Google for research things. So I don't know, but I agree with you that for now most people use ChatGPT instead of Google. So we don't know. But it's not the point of this evening. The point of this evening is to understand how we can pass an interview in one big tech. I choose Google as is my dream, and I think is the most impactful fang in terms of engineers, okay? Maybe not in these days, but I don't know. So let's see the last video. Some tips from Google software engineers on how to pass to prepare for an interview, a technical interview, and then we will do one or two lead codes, okay? And for today is all.
Really, the big focus of this interview is going to be technical skills. Most interviewers are going to run a few warm-up questions, one main question that's going to take the bulk of the time. So you can imagine a 30 to 35-minute interactive question.
The questions themselves aren't going to have the answer presented to you directly. You really have to understand what the question's asking and have an understanding of different data structures and algorithms to be like, okay, I can mix and match this together a little bit to make this happen. And then you can build on top of anything you have to do inside the actual interview.
For my experience, all the interviewers from Google are extremely nice. So they are very supportive and helpful. Even though the first solution you come up with might not be the best, they will guide you through, give you enough hints, so eventually you can get the best solution. You definitely need to think out loud. First, ask clarification questions. Second, call out assumptions. Third, you need to explain your thoughts clearly before jumping into coding.
It's like, what are your edge cases? Define those first. Is anything going to be no? What kind of inputs are you getting? So you can make sure that you know, your system won't break halfway through. Definitely speak out loud so that your interviewer knows kind of where your mind is on certain things. And that's when they can give you like hints every now and again. Like, oh, maybe don't use a hash set. A hash map might be a little better.
I think a lot of people come in with the misconception that for every problem you're given, you must find the algorithmically optimal solution. But it's better to find some solution than none at all. That's really easy to mess up.
The biggest piece of advice on how to do well at a software engineering interview is to not try to do well at the interview, but how do you do well as a software engineer in general, right? And that comes with practice, that comes with knowing your code. So you really have to do what you have to do to make sure that when you do get on site, you crush it.
I'd recommend the Google Tech Dev Guide to make sure that your fundamentals are going to be strong for the interview. Make sure that you're really good at least one language, because you're only going to get to pick one when you do the interview.
Prepare yourself, get used to code on a whiteboard. The difference coding on a whiteboard and coding in an editor is that you don't have any helpful tools to guide you through to finish the syntax.
So it's easy to just practice writing some code on a piece of paper or where you don't have that type of tool. I think there's a misconception that you need to be like the best engineer ever to work at Google. You don't need to be an expert at algorithms. You just need to be good at them. You need to know some really high level complex data structures. You just need to know all the basic ones really well.
You kind of think of Google as this like super software engineer producing entity, but then you realize it's people that have also been through your same process, right? They practice, they work, they develop to be who they were today. Of
course, Google likes to hire smart people, but don't underestimate yourself. You can do it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was dying. Holy shit. Okay, I'm okay. I'm still alive. So this was more... it's a good video, okay, because it says practical hints, but are almost all the same. Do questions, clarify your code before jumping to code, so clarify your thoughts, explore edge cases. So it's you have to show how you think. You have to show how you think in these interviews. And the most difficult part for me is that you have to know how to write all the methods of the language you're choosing. And it's difficult without autocomplete. I don't know why this choice. I mean, I know four different languages. So when I write down, maybe I write a method of a language that is not correct, but because I have in my mind 4 different languages, and maybe I misunderstood in a list I take count or includes or contains, but okay, this is how Google interview. So basing our exercises on that, we can try to improve ourselves without searching on Google how to write a thing. Let's try to think better, to memorize how we write down all the things, and then maybe we will succeed a day. Okay? So. Let's try to do encode and decode strings. What we have to do? You read it better, yeah, you read it. Okay, maybe I can put like, okay, maybe like that. Okay. So let's start to LeetCode together. Okay. Okay. So sorry, one moment. Okay. Here I am. I reput. Okay, better with the song, with the LoFi Chill song. So it's really difficult. Okay, really difficult. Design an algorithm to encode a list of string to a string. The encoded string is then sent over the network and is decoded back to the original list of string. Okay. I think why I'm thinking is quite easy. I don't know. Machine 1 sender as the function encode. Machine 2 receiver as the function decode. Okay. So machine 1 does string, encode string, equal encode string. Machine 2 does vector string, decode. Okay. Strings 2 in machine 2 should be the same as strings in machine 1. Okay, makes sense. Implement the encode and decode methods. You are not allowed to solve the problem using any serialized method such as eval. Example, dummy input hello world, output hello world. Okay, makes sense. Codec encoder, new codec. Encoder encode, machine 2, codec decode. Ciao, buonasera. Ok. The constraints are the length is from 0 to 200 and the length of the array is from 1 to 200. Okay. Could you write a general to work any possible set of characters? I don't know. Let's try. Is it too difficult? I don't know. So I have to I think I'm lost in some. I've lost the point. I have to write a code that encode a list of string to a string and then to decode it. Without use any serialized method. Okay. I don't know. Let's see. I'm not. I mean, this can do like that or not. This is an encoding or not. I'm lost. I lost something. I'm losing something. I don't know. I mean, this is literally encoding a list in a string. and then I can just I have the string divided by commas. Okay, I have a string divided by commas. I have to split it's really this easy? No, I'm losing some. Maybe I cannot use the toString method. I don't know. Oh. I always miss the points. String does not contain a definition for split. Because I'm programming in JavaScript in my main world, so the output was this. I can do something like string.concat, maybe. Maybe it's join. I don't remember the methods. No. Okay. The toString was better. Okay. This part is okay. Okay, let's do it by end. Okay. Let's do by end. Oh yeah, they analyze complexity stuff. Okay. Never saw that. So string result equals to the stress 0. Okay, of course. Then if okay, then for each string s in stress result plus equals stack plus s. Return result, and maybe it's okay. Oh no. Okay, let's put it's empty string. It's an empty string. Okay, let's put it no. Okay, and then we use the for int p equals to 1, p minor distance dot length più stroso di esimo. Ok, it's the same thing. Does not contain definition for length. Count. See, this is what I was saying before. I always change count and length. Okay. This is not the best solution because I create a lot of string in this part. A lot of string I create. But I cannot, I need string builder. I don't know how to use the string builder. Okay, I can do something like that. Let's try to do with the string builder, okay? We submit this and then we will try to use I imagine it. I was imagining this. We must put a strange. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. We are very efficient, but not in memory. Also in memory. Okay. Also with memory. Okay. So if I want to analyze complexity, just to know, on. Okay. And the memory is the same. Okay. And if I would like to put like strong builder, new string builder, result. How to use a string builder? I never used it before. Never. Concat. There is a concat method. What I can use with this? Append. Also a string I can append? Yeah. I think yeah. Append join, concatena la rappresentazione di stringhe agli elementi e la matrice di oggetti fornita. Okay, I can use this. String builder, result in string builder dot append join. Maybe if I understood well, I can do something like okay. Stros. I can. Let's see what happens. No, you want a string result to string. I don't know. so with one row I did it all. Let's see if it's better. Oh, it's awful, but it's the best as memory is okay. It was better before. I like more before. Okay, so we pay it was faster. What I changed it? Okay, let's put it with the string builder. I mean, okay. But these are randomical or not? I think these are randomical. Okay. It's always 0n. It's always 0n. So we didn't change nothing. Okay. Let's say that this is okay for us. So it was easy like I thought. I don't know if I missed something, but okay. I don't know. Okay. We did it. And we have time for another LeetCode. Okay. This was very easy. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Product of array except self. So what we have to do now? We have to given an integer array, return an array answer such that answer iesima is equal to the product of all the elements of nums except himself. All the elements. Okay. The product of any prefix or suffix of nums is guaranteed to fit in a 32-bit. You must write an algorithm that runs in 0n time and without using the division operation. Okay. Because with the division I will okay. Nums output. Nums output. Why the output is an array? Is equal return an array such the answer iesima is equal to the product of all the elements of nums except the first is 2 4 okay 6 24. Without this you have 12. Without this you have this. Okay. Okay. This is an interesting problem. Contains at least 2 numbers. The input is generated such answer E is guaranteed to fit. Can you solve the problem in 0, 1 extra space complexity? The output array does not count as extra space for space complexity analysis. Okay, this is something interesting. So what we have to do? Let's try to mock the Google interview. Okay. Let's try to fake a Google interview. So I asked to interviewer, okay, so I am sure it's guaranteed that the product is inside an integer. It's guaranteed that there are at least 2 numbers. Okay. So if there are two numbers, it's simple because I have to check the second one, check the other one fundamentally. So with the minimum case of two numbers is okay. Okay, I don't know if there are if it can be duplication, but I think yes. I think yes. Okay, I think we can do something like oh no, we cannot do it because we cannot use the division operation. Because I was thinking we can multiply all, okay, get the total product of all the numbers, and then divide for himself. Okay, but we cannot do that. So what we can do in a for, we have the current number, okay, and we are maybe we can do it with a while. Maybe we can do it with a while. I don't know if we can do it. Okay, we can save two products, the right products. No, we can save the left products. Okay, no. Okay, first if nums dot length equals to return and I write this it 1 and this is 0. This is the base case, okay, the base scenario. Okay, then base scenario, what we can do is just try to I don't remember if it's count. Okay, with arrays is length, and if I put count, so maybe I can always use count. No, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I love you. Okay, so the base case is covered, okay. Now the second case is if I save the left product, until my number, I can have the left one part already. Yeah, I think we can. So int left product equals to the first number, fundamentally. Okay, so nums of 0, and this will be always this is the product. Okay, so for int e equals 0, of course. But what if what if we go in the back? It's the same. I think it's the same. If we go on the other side, it's the same. I can do something. I can save all the products. If I save all the products, if I save all the products in the with all in one cycle, I have it all. Let's try. Okay? Okay. I want to see something, Okay, it should work. Ok. Okay. Okay. I think it's okay. So I can go with how can I what can I do? Okay, let's do it easy, and then we will do it better. Okay. This is interesting. Really interesting. Okay. We know that if every number multiplied for 0 is 0, so we can just break the cycle. product equals 0. And okay, but I don't know where the 0 is. So if j, sorry, if nums nums j equals 0, okay. And then the left product will be 0. We can put something like that. And then we can put something like, and we can have multiple 0. We can have multiple 0. So we will ignore the zeros. Ignoring zeros. Okay, so products E equals to product, and it's okay. Else what we do is to take product and multiply for the number. Okay, let's try something. I don't know. This is the worst solution I can do, but okay. Why is always 24? Why is always 24 in the second run? In the second run, oh yeah, of course. we can do something more interesting. That is ovviamente tranne il numero stesso bisogna fare, quindi è i più 1. In questo modo sicuramente non sarà mai uguale. Non sarà mai lo stesso perché parte da più 1 fino alla fine. E come facciamo a vedere i meno 1? Oh, sorry, I was talking in Italian. Ok. With this thing, I'm sure that will enter always here. Or here. J and D and I will not be never the same. Then I have to do this. Int left products is all 1. Ok. 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 And then we must update the left product. So what is it, the left product? Left product is what I can use as left product. Left product is the number EASIM number. So left product equals to left product per E. Okay, it should work correctly. Okay, it's a little fast. Okay, but it's not 0n, I think. Holy shit. Time limit exceeded. Yeah. What the fuck? Time limit exceeded. If we is 0 and it's a quadratic function. Thank you. Because I have F4 in F4 and this is not good. How can I how can I limit this? Ok. I don't know if they are all one. How can I know it? To efficient something, I can do something like else if the number is 1, you can just skip. And we are wasting less memory, but the time is another thing. I need to remove this 4, or I need to go in the halfway. I mean, if I do something like this, sorry, like this. Of course, it will not work for the other cases, but with this, yes, because this cycle is less, but how can I remove the 4? Without you, remember that we cannot. Where is the? Okay. We can. What is this? If I calculate the overall product, I cannot using division operation. If I calculate the overall product, I will need the division operation to work. ti fai calculate. I don't know. Into one. Think how you can efficiently utilize prefix and suffix products to calculate the product of all the elements except self for each index. Can you pre-compute the prefix and suffix products in linear time to avoid redundant calculations? The prefix product is this, and okay, we have it, we did it. The other one, how can I calculate it? Maybe this should go in reverse. If this goes in reverse and I calculate the right product, when I go at the half, when I arrive at the half, I can break all the cycles. Addition space uses by using memory, modify the input array to store intermediate. Modify the input array to store intermediate results. I don't know. This part I don't know. If this goes from the right to left and I save the first when I write to the center, the middle, it makes no sense. Okay, I submit this just to save it. Okay, just to save it. Okay, now we try to do something different. I'm not sure that will work, but we can try. So, if this is okay, it goes from the start to the end, and it's okay. 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 I don't know. I don't know. Okay, if I calculate store the product until an element. No. I mean, if this is the right product, it's not really good. No, I will go to the solution, yeah. From the looks of it, it seems a simple enough problem to solve in linear time and space. We can simply take the product of all the elements in the given array, and then for each element x of the array, we can simply find product of array except self, dividing the product x. And this for each of the elements will solve the problem. However, there's a note in the problem which says that we are not allowed to use division operation. That makes all this problem a little bit harder.
Hello everyone, welcome to this LeetCode video solution. In this video, I'm going to solve the LeetCode problem product of array except self. Suppose we have an integer array like this. For each element, we need to calculate the product of all the elements except this element itself. We will return the array made by the resulting product of each element, and we're going to call it the answer array. Suppose we need to calculate the self-except product for A2. We can first calculate the product of all the elements, then take the product and divide it by A2. The result of this division will be stored in the answer array at index 2. However, based on the problem description, division operation is not allowed to solve this particular problem. Besides, it won't work if A2 is 0, and we'll get a divided by 0 exception. Now that division is not an option, it seems that we need to use brute force to solve this problem. Let's take A2 for example. We could traverse the array and calculate the product of all the elements except A2. And for other elements, such as A3, we also need to do the same thing, except this time, A3 will be taken out instead of A2. If we follow this route, we'll have to traverse the array over and over again to calculate the result for each element. That will take a lot of time, approximately O(n squared, assuming n is the length of the input array. To further simplify this procedure, let's take a closer look at the result for element A3. You'll soon notice that the product of array except A3 can be divided into two parts, left and right. The left part is a prefix product up until A3, and the right part is the suffix product up until A3. Therefore, we can use two arrays to store the prefix product and suffix product separately, then calculate the final result by multiplying these two parts. Both the prefix product and the suffix product can be obtained by traversing the input array once. That is, we can traverse the input array from left to right to calculate the prefix product, and traverse from right to left to calculate the suffix product. Now let's look at a simple example. Given an integer array, we start when traversing it forward, from left to right, to obtain the prefix product of each element. For the leftmost element 4, the prefix product of it can be considered as 1, as any number times 1 will still be itself. For the second element 5, we take the previous prefix product, which is 1, times the number at the previous index, which is 4. Then we will get 4 as the latest prefix product. For the next element 1, we take the previous prefix product, which is 4, times the number at the previous index, which is 5. Now we get 20 as the latest prefix product. Similarly, we can calculate the prefix product for all other elements. Then after obtaining the prefix product of all the elements, we need to traverse the integer array backward from right to left to obtain their suffix product. We begin at the rightmost element 6. The suffix product of it can be considered as 1 due to the similar reason. Then we move left to element 10. We take the previous suffix product, which is 1, times the number at the previous index, which is 6. Then we get 6 as the latest suffix product. Similarly, we keep traversing backward to obtain the suffix product for the rest. Now we have obtained the prefix and the suffix product of each element by traversing the input array twice. Then we will declare an answer array. Traverse and multiply the prefix and the suffix product to obtain the final result, and it will store the result into the answer array. Now, let's analyze the time and the space complexity for this approach. Suppose the length of the input array nums is n. As we only need to traverse the array 3 times, the time complexity is O(n). Please note that the output array does now count as extra space during space complexity analysis. Thus, ignoring the answer array, we use left and right arrays to store prefix and suffix product. So the space complexity is also O(n). Now that we understand one approach to solve this problem, let's take a look at the follow-up question at the bottom of the problem description. It's asking us to come up with a solution that takes constant O1 space. With the inspiration of the first approach, let's see how we can make our solution more space effective. Our goal is to make sure that the space complexity is constant. Again, please note that during space complexity analysis, the output array does now count as extra space. Now, given the same integer array, instead of using left and right array to store the prefix and the suffix product, we can take advantage of the answer array. The idea is to store the prefix and the suffix product in one single array with help of integer variables. Let's take a look at the following example. We can first traverse the input array forward and store the prefix product of each element into the answer array. Then, instead of using right array, we can traverse backward from right to left and use an integer variable right to update the suffix product of each element. Finally, store the value into the same answer array. For the rightmost element 6, the suffix product can be considered as 1, and the prefix product is 30 to 100. The final result of element 6 is 1 times 30 to 100, which is 30 to 100. Then, for the next element 10, the suffix product is updated to 6. The final result is 6 times 320, which is 1920. We do the same for the rest of the elements, update the suffix product, and calculate the final result for each element. At last, we'll return the answer array. Compared to the first approach, the space complexity is optimized to constant O1 because only one integer variable right is used as extra space.
Okay, we were close. We were close to the solution. Okay. We were mentally close to the solution. So we say cycle the first time and then on backwards. So let's try, okay? So we must save before the products, first products. So and then we can do the same thing but doing in reverse. So okay. And then we must do it in reverse, multiplying itself for the right product, and then the right product will be like that. Should be like that. Can we test it? I wrote something. Okay. With input 1, 2, 3, 4, products is 1, 1, 1, 1. Why is 1, 1, 1, 1? It should be 1, 1, 2, 6. Sorry, it's like that. Let's see. This should be okay. 1, 0, 0, 0. No. Oh. I'm sorry. Okay. Why it is 0? Is it 0? Should be 1, 1, 2, 6. Because should be himself. Oh no, I so fucking stupid. This is himself and this is okay. This is the hour, it's night. Okay. Why is 24 this? It must not be 24. Sorry. Always -1. I think I have to sleep. Okay, we have it. 1, 2, 6. Perfect. Let's hope that I did it correctly, but I don't think so. Product C. Fair. Right product is insert nums +1 should be +1. What is going on with my network? Okay. No. What is happening? Let's go until this. Okay, then. The debug is not really working. Strike product is 4. Okay, but it should be 6 maybe. Okay. Should be like that. Ok, cerchiamo. Let's try to design it mentally. I am here. I am here. Ok. My right is 1. I have to multiply this number for 1. This number, multiply it for 1. Then I'm sorry, this should be like that. Okay, now it's correct. I did it before correctly, but I never started. Okay, should be correct. Very good. Very fucking good. So it's 0n, okay, and it's 0n. Why it's not 0, 1? Okay. It's okay. So we did it. This is where was difficult. Yeah. This was difficult. But we did it. It's late now to start another problem. So tomorrow we will finish the arrays and hashing problems. Will be a long month, but that's okay. So thank you to be here. Thank you all. We are going deep in learning and solving LeetCodes. I hope this will be useful. But I really don't know. Seriously. I am not quite sure, but okay. I am a little tired, so good night. Thank you. Bye.